Well, on this track, we took off late one night. I think it was probably around, I don't know, midnight, somewhere around there. This gentleman shot his first deer ever, and actually he went back in a similar place that evening and killed his second deer, which he did recover. But we got a call on this one. He shot the deer. Deer ran off, broken leg. He did notice that. He'd been hunting 10 times in his whole life at the age of 33. And he had seen his first buck, was able to shoot at his first buck, knew he hit him in the leg. Deer ran off down a hill, crossed the creek, and they blood trailed him maybe 150, 200 yards. Well, from where he parked his truck to where he shot the deer was about 1.25 miles. So I just let Spud go off leash and just let him run in there because he's very well trained and he's obedient and he stays with us, and he'll come back and check on us even if I let him do his thing. Well, we get to where the fellow shot the deer, lay the cart down, and I look at the GPS, and Spud is already like almost 1/10 of a mile, a little over 1/10 of a mile away from us, in the direction that the guy said he had tracked his deer. And he's trying to find where the deer was standing when he shot, trying to find his tree. And I'm just watching the GPS, and I asked him, I said, did the deer take off down this hill to that fork in the creek? And he said, yes, where we lost blood. And I said, well, Spud's already passed that by a couple hundred yards. I said, if you want to, we'll just kind of follow him, see what he does. Well, in the beginning of this video, this is just when we encountered the deer. It took Spud about 45 to 50 minutes to locate this deer. And the problem with it was the deer had been bumped several times by coyotes, and the coyotes were running Spud off. They were fighting. Spud was having to stop and try to turn the coyotes back around, get them off of his trail. And you could hear the coyotes yapping. At one point they got within about 100 yards of me and the gentleman that shot the deer. But Spud ran him off a couple times, and he went across a couple ridges. He got hung on one ridge, and what Spud will do is if he finds where a deer's been bedded for a long period of time, he'll have to work the scent pool out to get outside of it, so the scent will kind of grow over time. And as it grows, he has to work till he gets to the edge of it to find where the deer left that scent pool, especially if a deer is bleeding a lot or if he's been there a long time. And so Spud, it took him about 20 minutes to work this one scent pool out, but he dropped down in the bottom behind it and was able to pick it up, went up to the next ridge, and that's where the coyotes jumped on him. And I fought them, ended up picking the deer up again out of another scent pool, down into another big, huge bottom, up the other hill, and he probably covered right at 1 mile before he actually located the deer, which had been bumped several times. The deer would not have made it that far had it not been for coyotes. But locates the deer. Coyotes howling all around us, yapping at us, coming in real close, barking at us and looping around. And where you see this video start is on top of this wide open thin pine ridge under a beech tree. The deer's just standing there, already on guard, and Spud is, when I clicked the video and I heard Spud open, when he barks, that's the deer. And he hadn't barked yet. And so I heard him open. I said, there's your deer right there. And we go trotting up there, and I flicked the video on, and that's when you pick the video up. But from there, the deer had already been bumped several times. He would not have gotten up had it not been for him already having to be on his feet. If he'd have been laying there since he was shot, he would have probably just stayed there. But the deer was shot that morning. It's been about roughly 12 or 13 hours since the deer was shot. He would have had plenty of time to kind of lay down and let us get close, but he'd been bumped several times. So Spud ended up getting him out of that spot, running probably 300 yards. He bayed him again. From there, I wasn't able to get another shot on him. The deer ran about another 200 yards again, bayed again, went another 100 yards or so, bayed, and I was able to sneak in close enough with the pistol that I shoot and actually dispatch the deer. But had it not been for us, Spud doing his thing, us staying diligent, and I had actually thought about turning Spud around because I hadn't seen any sign. I never saw a drop of blood on this deer at all. And I thought about turning him around a couple times, but the coyotes had me concerned, and I knew Spud was working hard, and I can tell when his body language is right, and I let him stay with it. And so we ended up putting a bullet in the deer, and he went about another 300 to 500 yards. Hard to tell in the dark when you're running. And then I heard Spud bark, but it's a different kind of bark. It was that long, drawn out, like, I got him right here. And I get there, and he's swimming the deer around in the pond, riding his back, chomping at the back of his head, and he ends up drowning him. And you'll see that in the video as well. But deer probably covered right at, I would say, close to 2 miles total. before we recovered him, and luckily he made a huge giant loop, and that's what most deer will do, is they'll run their whole home range. But gentleman got his first deer, first buck on top of that, nice little 8-point, and we threw it, took turns throwing it over our shoulders and hiking it out of that place. It was about another 2 miles to find him, about another 2.5 miles to get him out of the woods. So it was a good hunt, good track, and we'd have never found him had we stayed on leash. I would have never been able to keep up with a dog for an hour and 30 minutes doing scent pull loops and all that stuff. So when it comes to ethics, I recover deer. I do things the right way, and there's no possible way any human, unless you run ultra marathons consistently, could keep up with a dog long enough to be able to recover a deer like that. That has been bumped by coyotes multiple times, and the coyotes would have eventually packed up enough to catch that deer running down and kill him, and saved a bunch of coyote meat, saved the gentleman's deer, and I feel pretty good about that. So y'all enjoy the video.
Come on, come on, catch up. I don't know if I hit that deer or not, but Spud just drowned another one in the pond. Good boy, Spud. You're safe, brother. We got him. Yeah, come on. I'm gonna try to get him before he goes underwater. He's in a big pond. I'm gonna try to go around real quick and get him, man. He's on that close to the bank. Gotta hustle though, so we don't have to go swimming.
Oh, good, man.
Congrats.
Thank you, buddy. That's all.
He's the 8th one, I think. You got to be kidding me. He's laying right there.
Easy.
Yeah, 100%.
I got an extra pair of pants.
I do in the car, but I got to go tracking.
That water probably cold.
You know what? I've been swimming 3 times this year. Yeah. People don't realize that deer sink real quick as soon as you shoot them.
Huh?
People don't realize they sink. If Spud hadn't stirred the water up over here, we could see him. You wouldn't have to. I think I missed the deer.
Huh?
I think I missed him.
When you shot
Yeah.
him?
Unless I hit him in the ribs, because Spud drowned him.
You did see him in the water?
Oh, I got video of it, him drowning him.
It's gonna be a long walk. Muddy feet.
Or get in your boxers. Leave your boxers in the woods. And then just dry off in the air and throw your clothes back on. Where's he at, Spud? I wish you'd have brought him out.
Dude, you know how hard it's gonna be to get his ass back?
Yeah.
Is there another road closer to you?
Honestly, man, we made it closer back to the truck than what we started.
Did we?
Yeah. I wish the deer hadn't sank, man. He was right here on the bank. But he's right.
Right here?
Yeah, he's right here, 100% right there. I would say that he's probably right out there, just a little piece.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's cold.
Yeah. Man, it's your first deer. You can't leave this one laying.
I know.
You want a stick to try to prod with? You'd be able to feel it. He's right there somewhere, unless he's gone out further in the pond. It's deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see all the hair in the water where the deer was floating.
Yeah.
Spud might have just hit him right here. Come check right there where Spud's at. He just hit something and stepped up on it. Deer's right there.
Dude, my balls are like up in my belly button.
I bet so. Spud just stepped on it, I'm pretty sure, right there. Because he like right there. Is that him?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man, good job. Atta boy. I hear you, buddy. I hear you, buddy, Roo. Little 8 point. I hear you, man.
That's
Congratulations,
awesome,
sir.
Thank you. That's freaking awesome. Oh, you shot him in the neck.
Did I?
Yeah. Right here?
No, it's
That's
pig.
huh?
That's a pig.
That's a pig. Where'd I shoot him at?
Right there in the knee.
So I didn't even puncture.
You just hit him in the knee.
So it come out right there. Right?
I got him. I gut shot him though. I didn't hit him bad. I think bad from 40 yards in the dark. I'm gonna drag him up here and get my pictures. You just draw off and we'll think. Congratulations, man. First deer. Good boy, Spud. Good boy, Speedy. Speedy Bean. Speedy Bean, get him, boy. Get him. What a track. You just got to witness a good one.
That was awesome.
What are the odds?
That's crazy. He was right there on him, just face to face with that deer like that.
Wait, do you see the video on this GoPro? You got to see him on the deer one time, didn't you?
Yeah, but that first time when we got up to him, he was right there face to face with him.
Man, that's incredible.
What trips me out, dude, you didn't even have to say a word to him, and he was just...
Yeah, he knew where the deer was at.
Just right off the bat.
Yeah. You just got to witness one of the best ones that'll ever live right there in action.
Awesome,
I don't toot his horn too much, but that right there makes me proud.
so he ran him down that side of the bank and then pushed him across the pond?
He bait him 4 times.
Yeah.
And I shot at the deer in there about a quarter mile. And I hit him just a little bit back. And he run down here and got in the pond. I could tell the deer was hurting because this is the fourth one we've caught in the pond this year. And the deer kept spinning around in circles and Spud was just on his back. All he had was his nose out of the water. He would lunge up.
Finally got him on down.
Well, I double lunged him, but I hit him in the back of the lungs. I don't know quite how far we went on that track. And I don't know how many people are ever going to see that, but I never even had to show Spud where blood was at. He just took off. Next thing I know, he's 12.12 miles. I don't even know how to say that. I can't even think right now. But he ran the deer, bait him probably 6 times. Deer was pretty alive, only hitting the shoulder low. And I shot at him about 35 yards with the pistol, and I hit him good. I hit him a little bit back. That's the hole right there. Bullet never exited, but the deer ran about another 1/10 of a mile. And, he got in a pond like they all do when they're hitting the leg. And Spud running down there, drowned him in the pond after I pretty much killed him, but Spud had to ride him down. Incredible track. I bet you were nervous. First deer, and you're 33?
Maybe 10 times.
Yeah.
I've seen doe.
Yeah. Spud, calm down, buddy. You ain't got to do that no more. You done worked hard enough.
That's the first buck I've ever seen
That's the first buck you've ever seen?
First buck I've ever seen while I've been hunting.
Dang. It's amazing how you're not really that cold after you get out of there.
I know, because I'm numb.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I never get cold. I've swam in 28-degree weather.
Really?
Yeah. I had to go get one day. He was like from here to that bank out in the middle of a pond. And it was actually the first one we ever swam for, and I was on cloud 9. And he wasn't but about 7 months old when he found it, and he ran it across the hay pasture, broken leg, and we got in the pond and got him. But you killed a little 8-point. That ain't shabby. Yeah. I'm glad we got to experience that together.